Hi there, welcome to a presentation on ApprovalPlus. I'm just going to take you through a little bit of the administrative functions for your admin team who look after ApprovalPlus. So obviously you need to be logged in. Down on the left hand side you have an admin page. Let's go there, and really the modules or the pieces of the things you're looking after are all located in here. Okay, so the first thing really is, obviously don't play in here if you're not sure, don't save it, don't change it. But let's go and show you adding how a user is set up and the various attributes around them first. Okay, so obviously you can search for all users or search by name. Select your name. And the idea really is on the left hand side you'll see a summary report of the setup of that person and the information on the right hand side, and as you click through the tabs it'll find the relevant page on the report for you as well. Okay, so basically the first thing is the profile information is all about defaults and your email addresses and things like that, and you can edit that and change those, but these are the things that will help when you set a user up. It'll default the correct company and when they raise a purchase order, or default a cost center in for them when they're coding something if that's relevant in those situations. Okay, you want to make sure they're active when you set them up. Okay, and you need to give them some permissions. If we go edit permissions on the right hand side here, we'll be able to look at the things that I can do on my login. So I can enter an invoice as an accounts payable person. I can export them to the finance system. Do I want to share accounts payable invoices with them? Yes. I can code things. I can view all invoices. No, in this case I can't. I can only see the ones that I was involved in. Can I approve things? Yes, if I can. What are my general OPEX and CAPEX approval limits? Similar sorts of settings for the purchasing side of things. What tasks can I do and what can I see? Okay, now they're your general limits. That will be applied against which accounts you can see in the organisation. So in my case, I'm saying for all roles, all companies, I have all access. But we could narrow that down and say for particular approver roles for a certain company, we may want to add more or less approval limit for them. So for company 10, particular business unit even, we might say, and you can stop there or you can keep on going. From this GL code down to this GL code, we've got a different authority level. Okay, and if we added that, we would have a specific approval limit for that user. Okay, and really the idea is you can add as many of these as you need to, and these will override the general approval limits too. So for example, if you had a general limit of $10,000 and you had access to all codes, but for this GL range you had $100,000, or for someone who had no delegated authority normally, but for this particular thing, and it might be, say for example, your receptionist can buy flowers for the reception desk if they're coding it to office general consumables, or the person in IT might be allowed to purchase things or raise purchase orders and code invoices for things relating to IT equipment up to a certain amount. Okay, and that's where you set those things up. You need to link people with each other. So if we expand our list here, my login has relationships with these people and it displays for me. So Barry is able to approve invoices for me. He can also prepare them and send them to me to approve. Okay, so we can switch things around in the opposite direction. And similarly for purchase orders, we can do things for each other as well. Okay, now my login has access to itself. So in this case, it says that I can code and send things to myself. But if I wasn't supposed to do that, we'd take that off. Okay, so it's nice and simple. You make sure you save any changes when you do anything in this area if you want to retain those changes you've made. Okay, and you can go through the different people and take those settings on and off depending on which pieces people should be able to do for each other. There is a history log of all of those things that have been changed and added, and some of these tasks may also be reported in an audit report to someone in the organisation as you do these things. Okay, and that's generally how you would update a user profile. If we go back one step, just going to go to our admin function here. There's obviously a whole lot of settings for how the system is set up and maintained. And again, this is something you wouldn't play with, but it's there if you need to know where things are and to go in here. Now, there's a lot of detail in here. So for example, if we look at the reminders function, we click on that, this sets how often the reminders are sent out to the users, and if there's someone copied in, what the email address is. to use these functions, all you need to do to pop in here and edit these is to click on the pen and change this to a valid number of days for your organization. Now, there are a lot of different settings, so if we go up a few of these and have a look at them, they should make sense. So should we show the delegate authority limit next to approver? Yes, we should. If we don't want to, we set that to no. Now remember, that's going to have impact on everyone who uses the system. So if in doubt, check with your consultant whether you should be making these changes. If it's a test environment, you're not going to break too much. It's only in test, but consider that. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully that gave you a bit of an understanding of how the admin function works.